you tell us, who is Karo as an artist and an individual?
I would describe myself as evolving artist. So what you see here is what you get. It might change tomorrow, but overall vibe of my artwork is all about experimenting with reality. Some people call it surrealistic, some people call it expressionistic. But you could probably put it in different categories. So as an artist, I would probably say I am an contemporary, evolving artist. And one thing that stays in my artwork is my focus on Feng Shui. So you could use my artwork in any space, and it will make your space feel better and bring that positive energy and the right balance into your space.
Okay, so how did you actually get into painting?
Ooh, the story started when I was born. So as long as I remember, I think I was 7 or 6 years old when I drew my very first painting, or drew very first drawing, and I think I still have it somewhere. And I remember my mom sending it to a mini competition. And that was my very first story, or just kind of adventure with art. And then for a while I made different type of artwork, and then I stopped. I went to corporate life, and now I'm reconnecting with that talent and with that need that I have inside. So that's pretty much the story. I was born with it. I'm embracing it, and let's see where the journey is going to bring me.
So at the moment, AI art has become something, that's on the rise. As an artist yourself, how do you feel about this?
I am very excited about AI art. Some artists are afraid. There is a fear behind AI, but as with everything that is new, people are afraid. The big fear for artists right now is that AI is gonna take over and artists will not be needed anymore. I think it's completely different. I think it's the opposite. We are necessary for AI to take example of, to learn from. And I'm very excited about AI. I'm very excited about the whole cyberspace, and I would love to have my art in the ether as well. I'd love to have it in the cyberspace as well at some point.
Just as an add-on from that, so if you're interested in AI art, does that mean you're interested in creating some NFTs?
Yes, definitely. That's on the horizon. Okay. Watch this space.
Which connects me perfectly to my next question, which is, what can we expect from Karo, let's say in the next 10 to 20 years? Let's say 5 to 10.
5 to 10, yeah, 5 to 10. NFT, definitely. That you can expect it within the next year or two, within next year, let's just say. I really, really would love to, and that's a wild dream. I haven't really shared it with anyone yet, but my goal, my ultimate dream at this point, maybe like 5 years from now, would be to exhibit in Frieze art, on Frieze art. So it's an annual international global exhibition that happens in Regent's Park here in London. Is sponsored by different institutions, different banks, different global institutions, and people of this world like Jay-Z's and stuff come there to shop for art. So my ultimate goal is to create art that is going to be a collectible piece, and it's going to be shown in places like Frieze art.
Nice. And from that, do you think in 10 to 20 years, I know that's quite far away, but do you think that you would still be practicing this medium of art, or do you think you would have moved on to something different, like pottery, sculptures?
No, I think I'm going to stay with what I do. There might be some there might be some installations. I really would love to try it, and also size-wise, I would like to try different size. Obviously, I'm working on expanding it and making huge pieces of arts that could, be easily used in a huge commercial white wall spaces. So that's definitely on the horizon. That's definitely where I'm going towards.
And last question. As a evolving artist yourself, what tips or words of advice would you give to fellow upcoming artists?
That's such a good question.
I know, right? It's almost like I created them.
Yes. I think don't overthink it, because I overthink everything. So
No.
I think, yes, I do. So I think that's the very first advice for anyone who's creating. Don't overthink it. And as I gave that advice actually to my fellow friend some few months ago. She's a graphic designer, and I told her just create without any expectations. Step back, have a look at all the art that you've done or all the piece of work that you've done, and see what is the element that stands out in all of them. And this is that element, that golden thread that will connect your art and will stand out as you, as your brand. So yeah, so that would be probably my very big, like the biggest piece of advice. Don't overthink it, and then just create so that you can find that one element, that piece that connects all your art, and that art becomes something that people will remember as yours because of that one element. So I think that would be the biggest advice. And also one tip that I got from a book that I was reading called Artpreneur. Create every day, paint every day, even if it means 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to create that habit. Because as a creatives, we have the waves of, you know, productivity, I just say. Sometimes we can just create for 2 weeks and then 1 month nothing. And just to avoid that stagnation period, if you really want to get into a business world as well with your art and sell it, you have to get into the habit of creating every day so that you don't have the production problem along the line. Yeah, just create and be consistent with it so that you don't stagnate in a way as well. So you become more passionate. It becomes a second nature to you.
So to follow on from this question, actually, you mentioned something about the golden thread that connects your art. You have two beautiful collections here of your work. What is the golden thread that connects these to your collection, and also what is the name of your collections?
So here, this one represents harmony. Is a harmonizer. It's called harmonizer. The combination of colors, shapes, and just overall composition makes it very peaceful and harmonized. Orange is all about communication, is all about bringing people together. Violet is a very powerful color when it comes to abundance, about success, you know, high vibration. You have also geometrical shapes, and this is where when you move on to the further collections, you will see as well. And then here, this one next to me, alongside the other black ones, is called balance, because it's all about balance, harmony, balance, you know, the vibe.
I see the dots.
Harmonizer, this is a balance. So the collection of 3 pieces is actually a representation of you coming to your own center and having an explosion of light that peeks out from behind the darkness, you know, that we all have. And then you create balance, and you become that ballerina in the air, and, you know, full of light and full of expression. And this one here, alongside the other beautiful piece, it represents identity. So it's called Identity of Color. What I wanted to achieve with this one is to play on the idea of identity and what we see as identity, what we understand as identity. A lot of people look at faces and what people do and how people look as their identity. So I purposefully omitted that faces. I left them blank and played with the composition so that the color speaks for itself rather than the face. So yeah, so that's the art. And the golden thread, I would probably say, is the feng shui, is the balance, is the understanding of self beyond of what people see. You know, this is a face, but it's deconstructed. She's up in the air. That's not realistic. People don't see it. Oh, people look at faces. Hold on, she doesn't have a face. She doesn't belong to any race, to any, you know, anything. And yet she exists. So so that would be a golden thread. And the feng shui, obviously, I love playing with triangles and purple. I think you'll see a lot of purple in my works in general. Yeah.
Okay. So last question. If you could describe yourself or your art in 3 words.
Wow.
What would they be?
Color, precision, and authenticity.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure. Where can we find you? Where can the people find you? On social media or online?
You can find me at this point social media, _K Designs. You can also find me at Etsy store if you are interested in purchasing any of those. And also I will be having some upcoming exhibitions, so everything is going to be posted on Instagram and TikTok, both of them, _K Designs. And yeah, this is where you can find me.
Exciting times. Absolute pleasure, my dear.